next. You're next. That's right. We're back.
That's a very ominous thing to say in the current circumstances.
Oh shit, yeah, you're right. So welcome back. We're in part 3 of question mark of our new Mortal Kombat retrospective. Right now, we're going to be covering MK11. But before we can get into that, let's take a peek into the world of wrestling right now.
Yes, surprisingly, this was once a wrestling podcast. Once upon a time.
The thing is, it's like, I really don't find it I just feel it in really bad taste of any wrestling stuff that's going on right now.
I agree.
Because it's like, you shouldn't be holding tapings because you need you need the wrestling and you need the wrestlers and you also need a crew to run the show. So it's like kind of gross that there are so many people who insist that there's 2 major companies that insist on still taping.
Yeah, no, super agree on that. Because we've been shaying on WWE a lot, but like AEW is like being just as irresponsible, to be honest.
Yeah, and even though right now, as we say this, it has come out that AEW says that they have like this round of taping is going to be their last.
That's good, at least.
But I guess let's see, and they're like taking precautions, but it's like you know that if it weren't for that dang old law, that they would absolutely still be doing tapings.
100%, yeah.
Because Khan, I forget his first name, but the guy who owns AEW, essentially, Khan, who also owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, is like a guy who doesn't believe in unions, so of course he's gonna still be trying to keep his business afloat. He doesn't care about worker safety.
Pretty much. He's not that different from Vince, just, you know...
He doesn't have years and years of baggage, you know what I mean?
Precisely.
But, you know, whatever. Hopefully that they keep this and that they end this, and hopefully all wrestling just takes a break now, but who knows, we're entering phase 2 of the coronavirus shit. I don't know when this is gonna end, but it does seem like it's gonna be sooner, but it's like, is it too soon? Who knows?
Yeah, for real, just do what New Japan's doing, just halt all wrestling production until just shit gets better.
They are, like, it has to be said, they are objectively the better company out of everyone.
Yeah, just on a purely ethical level. They are handling this the best of all the major feds right now. So, sorry, I mean, I know you're probably thinking, well, what about match quality? That doesn't matter right now. It's beyond that. This whole pandemic is like, it exceeds like everything else. So, let's get on a lighter note. A game about vicious murder. In hyper-realistic detail that gave the dev team PTSD.
Yeah, that's not a joke. A total
that actually
reality.
happened.
That was one of the horror stories that came out, was like all these devs saying like, oh yeah, I can't even look at my dog because I just think it's a bag of meat. It's just the most like spine-chilling shit on the planet. And then plus they worked long hours too making this game.
Yeah, it's a Western AAA game.
Yeah, so crunch was happening, and can you imagine? You work a 16-hour day, you're getting off work, and then you look on Twitter and you see your boss being like, making soy face, going, Epic Bacon, fucking RoboCop, and Peter Weller is playing RoboCop in my video game. Like, Epic win, like, I would start a strike right then and there.
Pretty much.
And I was thinking about that realistic gore. I actually put up I watched all the fatalities in this game, and some of them are so uncomfortable. Like, it's not like goofy or flashy like how they usually are. It's just like graphic for the sake of graphic. There are some that like actually disgust me, and I love horror movies, so it takes a lot to like upset me.
Yeah.
But it's just like, maybe it's the context, but at the same time, it's just unsettling. Like, I don't need to see their skin being ripped off.
Yeah, it's just, I think the graphics of this game are legit so good that I think they've finally, like, reached the uncanny valley threshold with the fatalities where it just feels like you're watching a snuff film.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. That's the vibe you get from watching it, and that's also how they made them.
Yeah.
was through watching live leak videos. But that seems to be the current trend in video game development, right, Neil? For those who don't know, Neil Druckmann did the same thing.
Yep.
So, just do what Doom does, everyone. Just have the most cartoonish, goofy-looking gore ever. It probably will be way more better to animate because it's more funny.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why I really hope the direction of the next Mortal Kombat, the next Mortal Kombat game goes into. Just,
don't
get sillier.
Yeah, just be silly. Do the neck stretch, like they did, like Quan Chi used to do. We just made your neck really long and you died somehow. Let's stop talking about that and let's get into the story mode.
Yep, this is the conclusion of the trilogy that started with Mortal Kombat 9.
And we are going back in time. Actually, no, it's more so characters that were from back in time are now coming to the future. Yep. Right? This takes place in the present, technically, right?
Yeah, it takes place in the present, and it's just a lot of time travel fuckery brings back a lot of past characters.
Well, oh boy. If you find time travel plots confusing, just you wait.
I was thinking, like, we were talking about this earlier, how this, like, game's plot would be completely incomprehensible to anyone that didn't play the previous two.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm imagining some, like, MK newbie that, never played a Mortal Kombat before and got this on the Switch. Is like, ooh, let me check out this cool story mode. It's just like...
What's a fucking Revenant? What's the... Who the hell... yeah, and imagine... But it's also confusing to us because several characters are just inexplicably missing. They never explain it in the actual story mode. So... Yeah. If you like Takeda and Kung Jin, you're shit out of luck, pal. They ain't coming back. They're not even mentioned in the story mode as to where they are. They're mentioned like offhand in like endings, but that shit doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of characters that just disappear with no context, like a Reptile, Ermac, Nightwolf, he's a playable character, but doesn't have any role in the story mode. Sindel. Like, same boat, etc.
Yeah, a lot of characters that even appeared as Revenants are gone, and yeah, like you said, they're not there, and it's like, what's this weird decision that this is just such a bizarre decision to make, you know?
Like I mean, you could just have them in the background, or you could just give some closure, like see Reptile get his head ripped off by Divorce and shit.
Yeah, just one line, anything. Just don't be like, come on, accept the Collector, huh? Don't you like the Collector? You like the Collector. So we start off with what seems to be Raiden's temple, and we just see bolts and bolts of red lightning coming from the sky. And we see Raiden just torturing Shinnok for being a major asshole last game.
And Shinnok's kind of like, haha, I actually won in a way, because you're evil and shit now.
Haha, actually, you're trash, mate. Guy who lost. And then we see Raiden put his hands on his balls to electrocute him more.
For context, just in case for some reason you're listening to this episode without listening to the last one, Raiden is now evil because he got corrupted by trying to purify the Jinsei, which is like the life force of Earthrealm, and because Shinnok corrupted it in the last game, and so Raiden had to purify it, but Shinnok's evil corrupted Raiden, and now...
Yep.
Now he's bad Raiden.
Now he's bad Raiden. Raiden is all dark and edgy, much like how he was after, which one was it again?
Deception.
And he has red lightning now, and it looks like Argent from Doom 2016. Raiden's philosophy is basically like instead of like waiting for assholes to come up on my block, I am instead going to take the fight to them. And it reminds me of the philosophy Carol Danvers has in the comics. Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, or the DC crossover story called Cry for Justice, where heroes just go out to seek the bad guys instead of the bad guys attack, and it usually ends up in very, very disastrous results. Which, a little foreshadowing into what's going to happen.
Yep. So Raiden he cuts off Shinnok's head.
Yeah.
Very brutally. Because that's probably the worst, because Shinnok's immortal, so functionally Raiden's just literally leaving him as a head in pain for the rest of his existence.
What a bitch. But yeah, it is an asshole thing to do. It's like, yeah, you're immortal, but what happens if, I don't know, someone puts you in cement, someone chains you to the bottom of the ocean, you fall into a volcano. It's like, yeah, you can't die, but you don't want to be stuck there forever. We see him putting his head on the table, and Raiden leaves, but then all of a sudden, some crazy, powerful lady stops time to meet with Shinnok. It's the Kronik. The Kronik meets with Shinnok to chat with him about how she's going to be doing shit in the story. She's the bad guy, by the way.
Yep.
What do you think? Before we go any further, how do you feel about the Kronik?
You mean Kronika?
Yeah, Kronik.
I thought you were making a joke at first.
No, I like calling her the Kronik though, because it reminds me of the Dr. Dre album. But what do you think about Kronika?
I think she's okay. I mean, I kind of don't like the whole she's secretly been behind everything in the entire Mortal Kombat franchise thing, but I mean, I like her design. I like her time power shit, so I don't know. She's okay.
Yeah, she's alright. She's not the most striking villain, but I think she's like a step above Shinnok, because Shinnok just feels... Shinnok's whole payoff was like, oh, I'm someone who is a powerful asshole. And then you have... and then before that you had Shao Kahn, who was also seeking power, and her whole thing is like, oh, I just want to fix all the time errors. So it's like, it makes it feel like she has a higher cause.
She's like Aleister Black, where she's very into balance.
Yeah, definitely. She's also... yeah, and she's bald, which is neat.
Yep.
Slap the back of her head. But before we can find out more about Kronika, we go to Chapter Cassie. I don't have the chapters numbered. I just had them
Oh yeah, this is the first one that actually gives the little subtitles aside from the Chapter X character name.
Yeah, little names to them. I didn't write them down, but I did notice that. I know that Scorpion and Sub-Zero is called Fire and Ice, and Kung Lao and Liu Kang are Shaolin monks.
Yeah,
little callbacks.
Cassie's chapter is called Next of Kin.
Interesting.
Yep. So and this also continues the tradition of having every first chapter in an MK game start with a cage.
Oh yeah, and this the last chapter was Cassie. This time is the first chapter is Cassie again. So it's like if you were number 30 in the Royal Rumble, you're now number 1.
So now we're in the Special Forces base where Sonya gives us a ton of exposition, and I guess it's time we talk about the issue of Sonya in this game.
Oh, fuck. So, Sonya has gone over through a drastic change. She no longer looks like how she did in MK9 and MKX, because even though MKX has had a much bigger graphical upgrade, they all look like how they all sort of look like how they did in the previous games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sort of similar, but now they look... All characters have drastic changes to their look, mostly to complement the whole change from the previous, how this is on a much different engine, and just to show off how graphically intense this game is.
I think they're still using the Unreal 3 for this.
Are you serious? This is Unreal 3? That's incredible. Holy shit.
I mean, it's a very, very, very heavily modified version of it, but yeah, I think they stuck to it. Yep, Unreal 3.
Holy fuck. Yeah, okay. I'm so used to Unreal 3 being oh, Nintendo, hire this man. Look, Mario running in a field, you know, like that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is actually impressive. I thought this was a different engine.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, and for some reason they switched a lot of the previous voice actors. Not a lot of people made their returns. The only ones who had the same voice actor from the previous game is probably like, I don't know, Johnny Cage and Raiden.
I think it's Raiden, Johnny Cage, D'Vorah, Kotal, Sub-Zero, and I think that's literally it.
Everyone else got replaced, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of the changes I don't mind, but some of the other actors just don't feel as fitting, or
Definitely.
at least it feels pointless. Like they're not any better, but they're not any worse, but they're not any better either.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of absolutely not fitting at all, Ronda fucking Rousey. Holy shit, dude.
Legitimately, like, no hyperbole here, just one of the worst voice performances I've ever heard in a video game.
Just utter garbage. It sounds exactly like Resident Evil 1 voice acting. Maybe even worse. Maybe even fucking worse. And we're not like, this is not even Sonya's chapter. It gets worse. Sonya gives a heartfelt speech about how cool her daughter is, which, like I said, like in the previous episode, clearly just telling you this is a severe case of nepotism. But oh my god, absolutely horrible. She's like, and like her bad voice acting really highlights kind of how bad the dialogue could be in this.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because like she's like giving out this speech and she says war fighting ability. What the fuck does that mean? War fighting ability? What? Excuse me? What? That is such a mind-boggling line that it just seared into my brain, into all of my lobes. It's such a bad. Mm-hmm. It's so bad, dude.
It's literally like, it's just one of the most blatant examples of just like pure stunt casting.
Absolutely. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. It really sounds a lot of the times like it's just Ronda giving like a bad promo on Raw. Like if you took the dialogue from this game and just put like insert into an episode of Monday Night Raw, it'd be like indistinguishable.
Yeah, and we all remember how great that time was, right? When Ronda Rousey was an active roster member. Wasn't that great, everyone? Didn't you just love when Ronda just delivered the worst fucking promos of anyone?
But she worked the smart. She told them wrestling was fake.
Yeah. Which, that secretly ruled. I'm sorry. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Because it worked.
It's fair. That's true.
So, yeah, Sonya is basically saying, Cassie, since you're my daughter, I'm giving you a promotion, but first you need to beat me in a fight.
Yep.
Basically, Cassie beats her, and then she gets, I don't know, Sergeant General, Lieutenant,
Master,
Captain, Master, Consigliere or something, I don't know.
Did you ever play that one, like, short game that was made by the Bulletstorm devs that was like a parody of COD?
Oh yeah, where you leveled up and it just gave you a fake rank every time, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen that footage. It's so fucking funny.
Oh, before we move on, during Sonya's opening spiel, she notes that Jax has been honorably discharged, which will be important later. Yeah,
they revisit Jax having PTSD, and they're basically saying his mental issues got in the way of him being a good troop. He's not useful to us, so just blatantly telling us how Sonya still doesn't care that her longtime partner is suffering from severe PTSD. So Cassie beats up Sonya. I also mentioned that all these models look pretty fucking excellent. And also, everyone looks better in this game. Like,
agreed.
Remember how boring Jackie looked in the MK11? Now she looks like a Saturday morning superhero, and it looks cool. I like it. It makes her way interesting. I love her color scheme of, like, white and green and, like, little bits of yellow. And, like, later on when Raiden shows up, you realize he's not wearing all black. He's wearing, like,
He has
green and gold and all these different colors.
It looks cool.
Yeah, like it feels like they hired some people who were like, "Oh, I know what fun who knew about like fun color schemes." Let's see.
We get a scene after that where like Johnny Cage announces that he has to, be away for a few months to film another movie, and it's like
it's like when Arnold Schwarzenegger like immediately went back to Hollywood after he started being our governor. That was so funny.
It's like everything's good for the Cages. They're all happy, and you just know immediately that's going to be ripped away cruelly.
Yeah, I know. So Raiden shows up. He says that Raiden basically took Shinnok's head, and if you remember the epilogue, he took Shinnok's head to warn his enemies that if you fuck with Earthrealm, this is what's going to happen to you. But now he goes to Earthrealm to the special forces to tell them, "All right, we need to attack them now." And it's like, what the fuck, dude? You were just there.
No. I'm actually. They kind of make it unclear what the time period is in this game. How far it's been between this and X.
Yeah, Johnny does mention something like it's been 2 years of this dark shtick you've been doing, but it doesn't really clearly tell you how long it has been, you know?
Because it feels very immediate after the prologue with him and Shinnok.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Raiden's just like, we need to end this shit with NetherRealm. We're gonna go invade them.
And they all agree. Then they all agree.
Yeah, they're all fine with it.
It's like, what the? Don't you want to? I don't know, round up as many help as you can. Why is it?
Oh wait, actually, Johnny Cage objects.
Yeah, Johnny Cage objects, but Sonya's like, "Nah, pussy, we got to do this now. Yeah. We got to go to war. We got to go to Hell War with the Hell people."
And Johnny's like, "Raiden, you have never lost anyone close to you in your life, obviously. So you're just a cold, unfeeling elder god." No.
Yeah. Especially this Raiden. This Raiden has had so many people die under his watch, so it's like, yeah, Raiden, let's go with you. So we cut to the Netherrealm. Man, the Netherrealm looks way cooler than it did. It looks like a different plane instead of just generic hell.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that how Doom 2016 presented hell is how everyone is going to be presenting hell from now on, just yellowish sort of wasteland kind of places.
I was totally thinking of the Doom reboot with how NetherRealm looks in this. It's so obvious they took a lot of inspiration from it.
Yeah. Play Doom 2016, folks.
It's good. So they invade the NetherRealm. The Raiden launches a distraction where he literally just stands in the middle of this massive army of demon dudes and just starts killing them.
To show how cool he is. He's so cool now.
I know, he doesn't give a fuck. He's not the pussy elder god anymore.
I like how they're just looking at him as he does this too.
It's so fucking funny.
The rulers of NetherRealm are now Liu Kang and Katana, and they're just watching him do this, and they're like, let's see how long this can go for.
No.
What's really funny is Sonya's a general, right?
Yeah.
Why the fuck is she on the front lines of this reconnaissance mission? Could you imagine any general right now going on a I can't say that word, a recon mission?
I guess it's just to put over how much of a badass she is.
Just to think of our beautiful generals going on a recon mission. It's just so funny. Just a 48-year-old guy who stopped working out 20 years ago, going on a sneaky mission. Thankfully, Sonya has the key to immortality because she does not age. Johnny Cage ages, Jax ages, but not her.
Mm-hmm.
Must be that war fighting ability.
So they go in, they kill pretty much the entire roster of Doom 2016, and then we get to see Reverend Cabal and Jade. And actually, I should know here, they kind of... Because I remember Jade was completely absent from X, like, even though every other character that was, like, Reverentified is there. And they seem like they're doing a story about it, because in, like, I think Katana's ending, they show, like, Jade as, like, a good spirit. I don't know if you remember that.
I just remember that Katana had a style called Fallen Friend or something like that, like, and it was basically Jade's moveset a bit, like, incorporated into Katana's.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was really weird, like how she didn't show up in that game at all. And it really bothered me because Jade's like one of my favorite MK characters. I don't know if anyone can tell, but you might see later when we get to Jade's portions. But but yeah, it was really weird. But I don't mind that she's. But it's cool that she's back.
Yeah, it's nice. It seemed like they were building up something to it that they just kind of quietly dropped, but it's fine. Her reference design's cool.
Oh yeah, I love everyone's redesign. Except for I'm not a fan of Cabal's receding hairline.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
He looks like he's balding, poor guy.
Oh. Well, I mean, he got his face burned by a giant furry four-armed man. That's probably gonna do it too.
Yeah, but he had a full head of hair at 9.
Well, maybe, it's been several years, maybe.
That is interesting. I wonder, but like, I guess they wanted like the helmet to look a certain way, but they also wanted his hair to stick out. But they put the helmet a little too high up on his forehead. I think he's also played by Nolan North.
Let me check.
It sounds like Nolan North, and Nolan North.
It kind of does, yeah.
And Nolan North has one of those voices where like you can't help but hear it. It's like how in Saints Row, they even bring attention to the Nolan North.
Like, they literally give you the Nolan North voice option. It's great. Actually, no, he's not voiced by Nolan in this game. He's voiced by some dude named Jonathan Cahill.
So, and by the way, these in between fights, the actual cutscenes are pretty neat.
Mm-hmm. They're legit super entertaining to watch. Yeah, they're also like super action packed. Like literally, you'll just go through long scenes where characters will just be like maiming mooks in very like stylish Devil May Cry-esque ways.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is kind of Devil May Cry. Yeah, very stylish, very stylish. So we have the first fight, or the second fight, Cabal versus Cass. Cass easily wins because Cabal's one of the jobber characters.
Cabal has like almost no role in this story. I think this is like literally like one of his only 2 actual appearances.
There's a lot of characters that just sort of are there to get beat up.
Exactly. In Grand NetherRealm's tradition.
Yeah, just getting their asses beat and not having any impact. Like, not even doing anything in the plot to keep the plot going. They just are there to fill space.
Yeah,
that's the problem with having like a multi a roster full of that many people. You had to somehow figure out how do they all like play a part.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't imagine that's easy.
Afterwards, she fights Katana. Yeah, Cassie fights Katana. And there's a cool part. There's a cool touch with Katana's Reverend outfit where she's literally now just wearing her dad's mask.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Oh shit! There she is.
Yeah. She literally like puts the like a skull mask down when she fights you.
Wait, she's wearing King Jared Fogel's mask?
No, like Shao Kahn.
Oh,
her adopted dad. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Close enough.
The one who put her through a college that she still doesn't respect. I like that I still call him King Jared Fogle.
A literal vocal king.
Oh no. Oh yeah, before that, we cut to the shot of like Katana and like Liu Kang just watching them, and then someone being like, "They're a distraction," funny. And they're like, "What?"
I know, literally, They're literally just this whole time while the special forces have been killing their dudes, just been chilling and watching Raiden blow their minions apart.
Wait, if Raiden's here and
like literally, you can just see like the light bulb go off in their heads.
Oh shit!
We've been bamboozled.
We gotta fix this conundrum.
Oh, we should also note that they have Shinnok's head, and now they literally made like a giant shrine out of it because they still worship him.
I think they're also like maybe hoping that he has like some power. I like to think that they're also harvesting power from him.
Oh, that makes sense actually. He's
because like he's probably still crackling with like sexual power energy. So who knows?
I'm now imagining like that. You know that one Simpsons episode where like Homer gets accused of like sexual harassment and like like the like when the paparazzi sees him in the shower and they're like Homer's like gathering his sexual powers, something like that.
Yeah. Was that the same episode where like they're like spying into their house and they like have a heat
yes,
like
that's exactly that's exactly what I'm talking about.
And they have a sacrifice in the oven, probably the baby, and it's the turkey. that's another good bit. But yeah, it's really funny that what were we talking about? Holy shit! I lost my train of thought.
We were talking about Shinnok, and now he still has some some powers.
Yeah, he still has some powers, but so he's like sort of like the set piece in the background.
Yeah, like in the stage, and you literally just see like his head like moaning in pain on like the giant like whatever the fuck wheel thing they attach him to.
We also I believe like so while Cassie and what's her butt Jackie are still fighting upstairs. Sonya's planning C4 on the walls
to blow up their evil tower.
To blow up the evil tower, and something goes awry downstairs, and I believe did the explosives like blow up too early, or what was the deal?
Shit, I forgot. I think literally like they. Actually, I forgot what the drama was that caused them to have
to happen.
Oh, I think it's because Liu Kang and Katana were suddenly there and they were killing everyone.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so I believe let me look at my notes. So Revenant Liu Kang shows up, and I like Revenant Liu Kang more than like Zombie Liu Kang, because I feel like an evil version of your central main character is a nice little interesting twist. Mm-hmm. Even if in the story mode it's like really temporary, what we see of Revenant Liu Kang is like a little bit more compelling than him being some weirdo zombie.
Yeah.
They try to do that fisheye lens close-up that you see in animes on Cassie. You know, that mind break close-up where the eyes are like sort of like outstretched.
Are you talking about like the Stanley Kubrick technique?
Oh, is that where that comes from?
Yeah, it's like called the Kubrick stare. You know, it's like you've probably seen it, like stuff like Full Metal Jackets, and like where like the dude stares at the camera and looks all. Creepy.
I know about that one. I'm talking about the when it's really close up on the anime.
Oh yeah. I think I know. Yeah, like stuff like Evangelion.
Yeah. Yeah, or all that like that kind of look, and and I think that's what they're going for, but it's also like. It's also kind of awkward. It's like awkwardly done. It's not as uncomfortable as it usually is in other shows. Yeah. But I just thought it was like a weird like attempt at like a emotional shot because Cassie's like, "Oh, is my mom dead?"
Oh yeah, I should note. Sonya gets buried under a shitload of rubble thanks to Liu Kang.
And then she's like, "Well, you can't save me, so I'm going to die down here." That's, by the way, that's literally the same exact emotional weight that Ronda Rousey gave that.
Yeah,
gave that line read. So god awful. She fucking sucks so bad.
I know. It sucks even worse because like the cages are pretty much the emotional centerpiece of this story.
Yeah, like literally the only characters that have Literally the only characters that have like any emotional weight to them, and it's wasted on fucking Ronda Rousey. Ronda goddamn Rousey. It makes me so mad.
Yeah. So Cassie defeats Liu Kang, and then Sonya's like, "No, move on." And we get big scene that should have been super dramatic and sad, but it isn't. Where Sonya Sonya sets off the bomb, and Cassie's like, "No!" Tries digging through the rubble and shit. But yeah, Sonya's sacrificed herself, unfortunately.
Yep, and then they run out of there. Raiden teleports them all out, and Raiden says, "She died a warrior's death. She didn't die out like a pussy. Be glad."
And Jackie's like, "Holy shit! Read the room, Raiden." I actually kind of like how they characterized like Dark Raiden in the story, because like he's way more of an asshole, obviously, but he's not like over the top evil or anything. He's still
he's just utterly callous.
Exactly, because he probably genuinely thinks he's like saying something comforting to Cassie when he says that.
He's more like lawful evil instead of lawful good. He's lawful evil. That's
exactly it. Yeah. So Johnny Cage finds out, and there's an effectively sad scene afterward. Like I don't think they have any dialogue where Johnny, but you can just see in their face where he realizes what happened and just grabs Cassie. It's like, oh.
We cut back to the emperors of NetherRealm, and they're just moping around. But then the Kronik shows up. Yeah, they're literally just moping like, "Fuck, we got owned.
This sucks, dude."
Do? But then we see the Kronik approach them, and the Kronik rebuilds the temple, and the Kronik is basically telling them Raiden fucked up the timeline too much by sending a message to himself from the future to the past, changing the timeline, so I need to restart everything and, clean it up.
Yeah.
Will you be my minions this time around instead of...
And they're like, "Yeah, sure, we hate Raiden."
Yeah, we fucking hate Raiden so much, dude. Hell yeah, let's do this. So it's basically the fuck Raiden brigade.
Exactly. Yeah, Kronika literally, like, starts building a Legion of Doom of, like, every single Mortal Kombat villain.
It really is a Legion of Doom. Holy shit, yeah.
It feels fanficky, but in, like, a very fun way.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it does. Let's see.
Then we Chapter 2.
Chapter Codal.
Yep. Time Quake. That's literally what it's called.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like a Quake That sounds like a Quake map. Time Quake.
We got reintroductions to the Outworld and Kurul Khan, who is still, ruler.
Yeah, the Khan of Outworld, and we see him about to do a public execution of one collector.
Yep.
He sucks. I can totally picture this guy never showing up again in an MK.
I don't hate him, but he's just very boring. Like
he's like, it's like a child. It's like, well, Goro have 4 arms, so this guy have 6 arms.
He has no personality beyond the fact that he's greedy and he loves Shao Kahn. And that's it.
Yeah, he's a Shao Kahn simp, and he also he really likes money and collecting things. Hence the name Collector. It feels like
that's literally the name of his race, I think.
It feels like a PS1, PS2 era MK character. He's just so utterly lame.
Mm-hmm. And then Shao Kahn's like about to execute him, and he's like, "Yeah, I am now the Khan of Outworld. Shao Kahn is never coming back, guys. Just let you know that. He is not going to come through some portal. He's gone forever."
Never gonna show up. Whoa, what's going on? And then we see sand, like time, like from like a time thing. What are those fucking things? Hourglass.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah, the Kronik has like this big evil ass looking hourglass thingy that she uses to control the flow of time.
Yeah. By the way, before we get any further, Kotal is still very, very, very cool. He's still really epic to look at. I love Kotal Khan still.
Mm-hmm.
Much, in spite of the effort in this game to make him not cool. This
is not Kotal's best day, but he on his fundamental level, yes, he's still very cool.
We see the Sand teleporting people in and removing Raiden. Raiden like literally dissolves, and he's like, "Oh, I don't feel so good," and he turns into dust. I have written down "bye, bitch" when he gets erased.
And then we start gradually seeing just pretty much past versions of all the old MK characters show up. You get like young Johnny Cage, young Sonya, young Jax, Shao Kahn, Baraka, young Kano, young Aaron Black, Scarlet.
All the warriors.
Yep.
All the warriors.
Mm-hmm.
We interesting that they made Kano. A lot of the past versions of these characters look like sort of like their MK1 designs.
They actually look way more faithful to like the older MK games design-wise than like they actually did in like 9. Like Kano actually looks like he looks straight out of MK3.
Right? Yeah, he's like
the bald red black.
Yeah, the bald like that's like his original look before they made him Australian.
And like Sonya has like the old like a green jumper outfit.
Yeah, they all look like they're from the 80s or 90s, like early 90s. Yeah,
it's like very like self-consciously retro. I dig it.
Me too.
So yeah, everyone shows up and like it's kind of like, oh, and yeah, Raiden, Liu Kang, Katana, and Kung Lao show up too. So at least there's some good guys, and then it's like, what the fuck's going on?
Right.
Yeah.
I have written down like, oh yeah, so Shao Kahn returns, and Shao Kahn is like way more Dragon Man than before, because before he was just like a beefed up muscle guy.
Mm-hmm.
This time around, he looks like a scaly.
He's also walking around with his titty out.
Yeah. Oh my god, he's wearing like the most sexy fucking like male fan servicey looking thing I've ever seen on a buff Bara character. He looks like a horny, very horny. This design. In fact, everything around Shao Kahn is extremely horny.
Mm-hmm.
They're pandering to someone. Someone. Me. But I have written down that reason 1,000 bajillion, number 1,000 bajillion reason why Kotal is cool is that his waifu is Jade.
Mm-hmm.
It's revealed that they used to be a thing before all this. Which, top tier taste, my man. Poggers. Excellent.
Mm-hmm. And it also revealed that Jade simps for Kotal just as much as Kotal simps for her.
That's pandering. That's excellent pandering.
Mm-hmm.
Round of applause, everyone.
They actually gave an explanation for why Kotal was like completely absent from all the older MK games, and it's just he was tortured in Shang Tsung's creepy basement.
Don't you hate when that happens?
But of course, everyone. They revealed that pretty much everyone was warped straight from like MK2.
Yeah, the tournament was about to begin, and all of a sudden they're all ripped into time, and Shao Kahn is pissed that he's not the Khan of this new timeline.
Mm.
And he takes that frustration out on Kotal Khan. We get a big boy, thick Bara fight.
Yes! It's fucking awesome.
Just two mountains of meat just going at it. Holy shit.
Man, the people watching like this execution must be like, this is the best fucking execution ever. Like, I'm getting like a massive con fights. I'm seeing all seeing all my old favorites make a return. This was worth the price.
Oh, so like Shao Kahn starts beating up Kotal, and Liu Kang like deducts that Kotal's probably on their side, so he does a bicycle kick on Shao Kahn, which looks really funny when that's done out of like gameplay.
Yeah, it looks goofy as fuck. So Kotal encounters Baraka, and that's her first fight with him.
Yeah, they made actually Baraka's intro so cool because he's like effortlessly killing jobbers on the side, like Kotal's little like Aztec warrior guys.
Mm-hmm. Baraka gets a small amount of redemption in this game from being the jobber in the last two.
Yeah, they make him way more important in this time around.
Yeah.
But I've written down one more job when Makoto just beats up Baraka again.
They also, this will be important later, show that Kotal was very fucking racist towards Baraka's race.
Oh, absolutely. This is a race war going on right now. We are witnessing an uncomfortable race war.
Mm-hmm.
I have... so Scarlet is the next fight. However, Scarlet was a DLC character in MK9 that wasn't really addressed. She was just Red Lady Ninja. And this time around, she's more like a Bloodomancer.
Yeah. Bloodbender?
What would that be called? A Bloodbender or what's the word for it? A Hemomancer or something like that. And interesting enough that she's Polish. She has a bit of a Polish accent to her.
Yeah.
So Polish excellence on display.
Her design,
unfortunately,
I was saying her design's another one that caused like lots of discourse, but I like it.
Oh god, yeah. Do you want to talk about that shit?
May as well.
So a lot of discourse occurred from this game where I think people noticed this time around, even though MK X also kind of went the same route, where less sexy designs this time around.
Mm-hmm. More.
And I had to say, who fucking cares?
Precisely.
Who gives a flying fuck? And it's like you're not losing or gaining anything when an art style changes like that from sexy into fan servicey. And I know that there's a lot of like fighting games out there that do have fan service in them.
Mm-hmm.
But you just have to accept that this isn't one of them. Also, they're not completely not sexy. Look at Jade. She's like the hottest she's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Her big old beefers. And also, there's some like male fan service this time around. You don't see that often.
Yeah, weird.
Well, actually,
we were just talking about
at least in Western games.
Yeah.
I just forgot about like Ryu, Ken, all the shirtless guys in like and Street Fighter. But still, it's like, who cares?
Precisely.
Who fucking cares? You don't lose, you don't gain anything with sexy designs. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's like a little bonus, but sexy characters don't save. You can have all the sexy characters you want. You can have in a game, but it won't make the game suddenly good. Have you played Code Vein?
I haven't.
It fucking sucks. One of the worst fucking games I've ever played, but it has titties everywhere. So it doesn't. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, sexy does not equal good, and it never will.
Words to live by. So with that,
all right.
Yep. Back to our scheduled MK lore discussion.
So so after Kotal beats up Scarlet, Jade comes down and says, "I felt your presence nearby. I love you so much."
It's actually cute. They just immediately the moment they see each other again, they just start making out.
I know. What a pimp.
After that, Aaron Black appeared, specifically his past version, who I guess was working with Shao Kahn or something, or
I guess they are trying to retcon that he also was there the entire time. You know, like he was always part of Shao Kahn's crew. Maybe he was like on excursion or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why they. I don't get like. Did he die in between games?
No, he's in the present version. Is in here. You see him in the background a few times. He just gets like no focus.
Damn, he just has no impact. There is a lot of characters that just don't have any impact on the story.
Yeah, because past Aaron here is just literally just a jobber again.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
Especially because literally a few months before this game came out, the biggest video game in the world was about cowboys.
So yeah, Kotal soundly beats his former, I guess, former whatever subordinates.
Yeah, it's gonna be confusing, folks.
Mm.
Kotal and then Kotal goes back to the surface, to the regular Coliseum on the surface level. and he finally gets his hands on Shao Kahn for a thick bar fight number 2 of question mark. There's a lot of thick bar fights in this game.
This is, I think, legit, aside from Armageddon, the first MK game where Shao Kahn's just like a regular ass playable character.
It's very weird, but I like it.
Yeah,
I don't like that he was pre-order. That he was like you had to pre-order him.
That's another really bad NetherRealms trend.
Actually, I don't think he was pre-order. I think he was DLC, like day 1 DLC. That shit.
Yeah, no, you got him for free if you bought the game on day 1, but yeah, otherwise you had to buy them. It sucked.
Yeah, that shit sucks. Stop doing that. Only do that for costumes. Like, if I'm going to accept like pre-order bonuses as like a way of life, but don't hide content around behind it. Hide costumes.
Because at least it has like no actual effect on the gameplay. Oh well.
Yeah. Devora's bugs show up to distract all the good guys in the fight.
Yep.
Devora is like, "Come with me into the portal," and they're like, all the bad conveniently all the bad guys go with her. Could you imagine if it was all the good guys? How fucked up. Thank God everyone is sort of semi-aware of their
alignments.
Their alignments to know who to go with.
The creepy bug lady wearing all black, probably not a good guy.
Yeah.
So after that, Ko's like, "Well, this is fucked up. We shall team up."
We should team up, and like Raiden's like, "What's going on? Is this the past or the present?" And Koto's like catches them up on all the current stuff. And he even tells Raiden like, "Yeah, you're kind of an asshole right now." And Raiden goes, "Huh, all right. Well, I guess I should take that knowledge and do something about it. Let's get a feeler for what's going on right now." Katana's fate. Katana shows up, and I have to say, I think Katana has like the best face in the game. Like it looks like a fucking human.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like how in Injustice 2, Harley Quinn was like the most incredible looking face, and now it's like I didn't think that they were able to top that, but they did. But I just have written down, it's so realistic yet not uncanny in the slightest. So it makes me think, damn, are we here? Are we actually in the time frame where we can make like super hyper realistic looking people and not like freak you out a bit?
Yeah, I think so. Because pretty much like for most part, everyone looks really good, and like you said, the faces look ultra realistic in a way that isn't off-putting. It's well done, NetherRealms.
Yeah, well done.
It's such a contrast from like 5 years ago when they just could not do faces.
You cannot, at all. I just like to think that Robert Zemeckis is like outside of their studio, can be like, let me in, I need to make a movie with you guys. Since that's all he makes is Uncanny Valley movies. So we cut to the hive where Devora took them. Shao Kahn doesn't trust Devora, nor should he really.
No.
He even said, like, I try to firebomb you guys to the Stone Age. Why are you helping me?
Devora casually reveals that he like murdered his daughter, and that actually legit upset Shao Kahn, which is surprising.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
His hypothetical daughter that he doesn't really know about.
I guess it's because it's like you totally will expect him to be like whatever because he's just so callous towards everyone. But he
loves Melina.
It's like
that's like one of the few things he cares about. He likes his hammer, he likes Sindel, and he likes Melina.
And that's true.
And Mortal Kombat.
But before Shao Kahn can like cave Devora's head and like the Kronik shows up, like, no, don't do that. Team up with me.
And I have written down in true central villain fashion, like of the entire game, Kronika recruits the jobbers of the MK universe to help her achieve her goal. Doesn't she like? She should be well aware of all the events. She literally like watches time as it goes, and she should be aware of who's the fucking losers of the MK universes, and she recruits them. How does she expect to win?
You need distractions.
So we cut back to Earth Special Forces Base where young Sonya, young Johnny Cage, and young Jax show up.
Yep.
And I have written down that young Sonya and young Cassie look super familiar because they both have like sort of similar hairstyles and very same faces, like similar faces. So like at a glance, I just think, is that Cassie or is that Sonya? It's the only time it happens too.
It reminds me of like a Frozen where like Elsa, Anna, and their mom just look almost exactly the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Young Johnny Cage is there, and he's just immediately like obnoxious as fuck, and it's just like, ooh, I'm gonna tap that hot Sonya ass.
Yeah. I have written down that Cassie tells Sonya what happens to her future self, and Sonya reacts with the same emotional weight as dropping your keys when trying to unlock your car.
I know, she's just like, oh.
Shit, yeah. Really? That sucks. Dang. But we're spared any more Ronda Rousey line reading with Chapter Shaolin Monks.
Oh, before that, we also get some important exposition about why evil Raiden is gone and good Raiden's here, even though like most of the other past and present characters can coexist. And it's just literally just it's different because I'm an Elder God.
Yeah, the rules of the rules of nature, the rules of like physics and shit probably doesn't affect him the same way.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah. Makes him feel like he exists on different planes.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chapter Shaolin Monks. Kung Lao and Liu Kang are going to the Shaolin Temple to find out what happened to the Shaolin monks.
Yeah, and this chapter mixes things up a bit because for the first time in the series, you have the choice to choose who you want to play as during every fight, which is cool.
Yeah, they did that in Injustice 2.
Oh, I never played Injustice 2.
It's alright. Too bad it's completely irrelevant. It is not getting the same treatment as MK11 is getting. So Kung Lao doubts Raiden, but Liu Kang seems cool about it. I think my philosophy is if you know something's gonna happen, I feel like if you go out your way to change it, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Even more.
So you just kind of have to shrug and be like, well, if it comes, we'll just deal with it.
It's like don't try to actively like save time. You'll waste time trying to save time. You know, that kind of philosophy.
That's exactly what happened to Raiden 9.
yeah, he did.
Like every single time he tried really hard to avert like something that happened in the old games, something way worse or just the equivalent of it happened.
Yeah. I have as they're going through the temple, I have they're going through all the traps and like all the dangerous, deadly obstacles, and I have written down, but it's completely outdated now because of the recent news. But a game without stage fatalities shows us potential stage fatalities. And I'm like, I'm so mad about it, but they just announced that they're gonna put in stage fatalities.
They did that.
Like, damn it!
They did that just to spite you. After they go through like several traps, we get our first fight, which is against the past Scorpion, who's still like an undead specter, reverend, whatever.
Yeah. Sadly, he is not reprised by Patrick Seitz. Patrick Seitz has been Scorpion's VA and MK, I believe, as early as MK versus DC.
Yep, that's correct.
I always thought that he did a really good job of Scorpion. Hell, he's even playing him in the new Scorpion movie.
Yeah.
But they replaced him with some guy.
And he's not bad. He's like perfectly fine, but it just seems arbitrary to replace him.
Yeah, plus I need to hear that Patrick Seitz like angry growly like scream that he does so perfectly. Mm-hmm. No other guy gets as pissed as he does. I said before they fight, they're stuck in a cage and fart gas starts arising from the floor. But then they're rescued by the Revenants because the past versions are needed for the present versions to be alive. Remember that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, before that, Scorpion disappears from out and he actually fucking dabs.
Yeah, he does. He does hit the dab. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the first fight is either the two versus Jade.
Yeah.
And I noticed in Kung Lao's version, Jade says it's not. Jade says, "Is it not murder to send someone who's ill prepared into battle?" And I say, "No, it's not. Murder is murder." To send someone who's ill prepared into battle is incompetence, or the Vietnam War. Also, we don't see that the Revenants keep mentioning that Raiden's been a tyrant and a mad power god, but we don't see that. We're just told because we spend very little time with corrupted Raiden.
Yeah, it kind of like. Since they also talk about stuff like a bit later on when like they encounter their reverend versions of Liu Kang, Kung Lao, and they're like, Liu Kang's like, Raiden only killed me because he wanted the glory of killing Shao Kahn himself. And it was interesting to me because it shows like as they've probably gotten eviler, their memories of what happened have gone like corrupted too. So
they're like gaslighting themselves. Yeah,
exactly. So they probably just always view Raiden as like the secret tyrant that was only using him.
Yeah, which is an interesting way of like how of their like character progression.
Mm-hmm.
The Revenant versions of the Shaolin monks show up.
Yep.
And
we get a good old-fashioned mirror match.
Yep. And the Revenants keep talking shit about Raiden, and the current the past versions keep saying no, that's not true. And I've noticed that this game does have a Raiden image rehab motif.
I know.
They're trying to. Because us, the players, still remember how much of an incompetent asshole Raiden was for the past two games. Fucking up his visions, fucking up, like, keeping the amulet locked up. It's like, we remember this stuff. Don't pretend that we don't.
Raiden just, like, hired himself a better PR team for this game.
It's like, come on, ignore my war crimes. Come on. I have written down that thank God this doesn't operate on those like time travel fiction where if you touch another version of yourself, you become like a goo or you explode.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, as long as you don't kill your past self, you're good.
Yeah, you're fine. Mm-hmm. Also, I have also written down, I would be so pissed if the past version of myself kicked my ass. Like, if the version of myself, if me from, like, 5 years ago beat me up, you know how livid I would be? They get Batman, what looks like Batman's utility belt. I guess it has a bunch of these vials that the Kronik needs to become stronger. It's just a MacGuffin.
Pretty much. And
Garrus.
Yep.
The manservant, the Virgil of he's literally Virgil. That's his character. Not Virgil from Devil May Cry, but Virgil from World Wrestling Federation Entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
He's Kronika's Virgil, and he's like basically there to get the utility belt full of vials.
Yep.
And Kung Lao does not hesitate to decapitate him with his hat.
I know.
Pretty fucked up, dude. But we find out that Garrus is indestructible. His head comes right back off.
Yeah, they established that he's like a fixed point in time, and that allows him to just functionally be immortal.
Mm-hmm.
But
he says like each time I die, I grow stronger. But then he gets his ass kicked immediately.
Garrus is sadly kind of jobby, and I don't know. I wouldn't call him a full-on jobber, but he doesn't feel as impressive as he should be.
He's like the Ermac this time around, like how Ermac was in MK9, where he gets a badass intro every time he shows up.
But he still loses.
But he still loses. He's like the jobber you got to look out for.
He's like the Kane.
Yeah.
After that, they unfortunately they escape with the utility belt, and the bad guys do.
Yeah, this is one of those weird things about like the story modes that you'll beat up the bad guys, but somehow the bad guys still succeed, and it just makes me wish that they had the guts to have you play as bad guys, so that the bad guys can have bits and times where they like persevere over the bad guys, over the good guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think legit of the entire MK trilogy, the only time you play as a full-on bad guy is Devora.
Mm-hmm. But you don't know that she's a bad guy.
Yeah. So even then.
So Raiden. So we cut back to
Raiden?
I guess the special forces.
Oh,
and Raiden vows.
Oh, before that, we have a short scene where Raiden consults the Elder Gods.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Elder Gods continue to be fucking
useless as always. They're literally just like, I don't know, man. This sounds fucked up, but I don't think we can help you. Sorry.
Shit's fucked. Who cares? I don't care. Do you care? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Raiden's concerned about, like, if him becoming dark and evil is gonna, like, happen no matter what he does. And one of the Elder Gods just is like, chill, dude, if it happens, it happens, but, you got free will and stuff.
To quote Cameron, fools die every day, B. So Raiden goes back, and I guess Raiden figures that I think he notices how incompetent the Elder Gods are, so he vows to not be incompetent. Again, since now he has a clear idea of how his decisions could fuck up the future.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I'm just gonna be direct and and certain with my actions rather than just hoping the nearest thing works.
Yeah.
I have written down Sector is back and fucking shit up at the Lin Kuei.
Mm-hmm.
And
that brings us to our next chapter.
Chapter Fire and Ice.
Yep.
Sub-Zero and Scorpion. So this has a funny intro where like Sub-Zero is like scoping out the Lin Kuei, and Scorpion's like sneaking up behind him. And then they turn around, and Scorpion's it's like a weird fake out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we know that the both of them are good and cool with each other.
Yeah, it just seems like Scorpion's just testing Sub-Zero, I guess, because he's like, you didn't hear me. But like Sub-Zero's like, well, I felt your footsteps.
It's like we know that they're friends.
Yeah,
we know that they're cool with each other.
Mm-hmm. You don't need to build the suspense.
It's like, oh, I remember that. I remember they used to be feuding. I remember that. And that's all I get from that weird little intro. But whatever.
Yeah.
Another funny scene is there's like one security Borg, and both of them just like violently stab him to death.
Oh my god! Yeah, literally just aggressively they just kill the fuck out of that guard.
Just that one particular guard. I bet you Sub-Zero knew him too at some point. He just didn't realize it's him.
No, the Lin Kuei literally just had, or like the evil cyborg Lin Kuei literally just have one dude guarding this very important facility.
Yeah. Damn, no wonder why they suck. So we cut to the inside. I believe it's Cyrax, and Cyrax is there. Hey, it's cool, Cyrax.
Yeah. We see like the butchered remains of all like Sub-Zero's Lin Kuei buddies who are just like literally being like their bodies ripped apart so they can become cyborg soldiers.
Yeah, I have written down shots of bodies being mutilated. How did these cyborgs get made? Seems like too much destruction on a human body to make like robots out of them. Like they're destroying the spine, bones. Like what the fuck? How are these cyborgs made? You know what I mean?
Yeah. My guess is just they literally just like. Yeah, because like I would assume they put like their brain in or something, but they like literally use giant buzzsaws to cut their heads in half.
Yeah, I feel like this is just a meat factory. It would be so funny if it's just like one side is just making robots and the other side is just cutting up bodies, and it's like they put like one finger into the robot, like, yep, that counts as a cyborg.
This would have been the perfect opportunity to bring meat back.
Oh shit! Oh fuck! Meat. Oh, that late PS2 era, like, characters are so fucking bad.
I know.
My favorite was Mocap.
Mocap ruled. He's literally just some dude in like a mocap suit that gets warped to the NK world. It's like, oh.
Completely out of ideas. So Frost, she's a cyborg now, cyborg lady, but who's one of the lucky few who got to keep her like humanity.
Mm-hmm.
She still looks human. She's like Makoto from Ghost in the Shell, where she appears human, but very much as a robot on the outside. But could you imagine how pissed Cyrax or Sector is, and like they're stuck in these bulky robot bodies? They don't look how they used to look. It's like, oh, what? Come on.
No. Frost's personality in this game is just like she's I'm trying to describe it, but literally just her entire thing is Sub-Zero. You know. She's like Anakin.
She is like Anakin.
Yeah.
Like she's sounds like an angsty teenager.
Oh, totally. Like literally in like a lot of her fight intros, literally all she does is whine about how Sub-Zero's holding her back, and now like I don't need Sub-Zero. I'm better than him.
Oh my god, just fuck him already. God. I'm sick of this Tsuneri shit. Just get on with it. Get a room.
But then Frost gets frozen, and we finally get our first proper fight.
I love that it's a recurring bit in the series, is that like you had this lady whose hair is literally made out of ice, and she still gets frozen. She sucks that bad at cryomancy.
It should be noted that Cyrax and later Sector, like when you fight them, they literally just reused Triborg's moveset from X.
Yeah, they're the only NPC but yet still fightable characters in the whole entire story. Like previously, there were a bunch of like revenants who weren't in the game that you could fight, but this time around, it's just Cyborg. It's just Sector and Cyrax.
Mm.
Makes me wonder why they went this route, because it doesn't feel like there's that many revenants. There should be a lot more, but there wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah, I think Striker, Nightwolf, Sindel, and Smoke are all completely absent from the Reverend side.
Very weird.
Mm-hmm.
Noob Saibot returns and is 1,000 bajillion% more edgy.
Mm-hmm. He literally just has a Dr. Claw voice now. It rules.
It's like so goofy that it's cool. But it also gives Kwai Lang his closure with his dead brother.
Yep.
Because it's technically still Bihan.
Yeah. They kind of try to give a little explanation of how he survived like the Souls tornado from 9. And I think it's literally just Kronik brought him back to life or something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Give that good old mental warfare on your enemies. So they uninstall badguy.exe and upload goodguy.exe into Cyrax's mainframe, and Cyrax is like, "Oh, I'm a fucking hideous robot. What am I gonna do with this 12-inch swinger that I have augmented onto my body? This is horrible." But Sector reigns in the parade, but you beat up Sector.
There's a cool part where, like, if you play as Scorpion, when you beat up Sector, he like just flat out no-sells his flamethrower.
yeah, it is cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. It's like, that makes sense. Like, Scorpion literally has lived in hell. He in the hottest flames on Earth probably don't. Yeah, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like how Sectors and Cyraxes are being made in the background while this is going on. Like, there's like what was supposed to be an Easter egg for that stage is like kind of sort of messing with the continuity of the story.
That happens like a couple times.
Yeah. Something weird happens where Cyrax Frank grimes himself to destroy the cyborg factory. Like, he literally grabs like cables and, like, short circuits. Basically, he doesn't need gloves because I'm Homer Sip.
And of course, Sub-Zero's like, we'll get you back, buddy. I promise. Somehow.
Doesn't do it. Still not announced for DLC.
So yeah, Cyrax like destroys pretty much the entire Linkway, like cyborg operation, and so it seems like there's a major setback for the villains.
And they're like, it's fine.
Yeah, well,
they also introduce Kano into the story.
President Kano specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's like, and again, a new voice actor for a guy who was in 2 games at that point. Was Kano in MK versus
he was.
DC?
Yep, he had the same VA in that one too. Damn!
Imagine you got called for 3 games, and then all of a sudden you're not here for the big new game. That sucks.
It does. It's like, I kind of want to look into what the casting rationalization is, because it just seems like there wasn't any reason to, because they were perfectly fine in the last few games.
Yeah, I don't understand. Was it like a Hideo Kojima move where he wanted more cinematic sounding voices in his game? Like how he made Miller sort of tone it down a bit when he got Troy Baker to play Ocelot, and then he also got what's his butt?
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, Donald Sutherland's son.
to say 5 lines of dialogue and then
say 5 whole lines of. At least got him to say. He at least got him to go ho when he did the thunder move. But yeah, just I don't know. I don't get the rationale. I even try to think did they want him to have a different type of Australian accent? But there's only 3. I even looked this up. There is the general, the more bogan outback sounding one, and then there's the rich sounding one. They don't have this wide variety of accents we do or England does. So it's what's the rationale? Why? Why, damn it, why? Tell me why.
So yeah, we meet President Kano, and he just looks like Austin Harris, exactly like him.
Oh yeah, he does! Holy shit, he does! And yeah, and past Kano says, "Oh, you look like quite the ripper. You're 50 years old, mate. You're looking great."
I gotta say, the interactions between Past and President Kano are very fun. They're
yeah, they're bros. They're total bros.
Oh, yeah. And so they agree to team. President Kano agrees to team up with Kronika's Legion of Doom, and they were like, it's fine. We could just. They have Sector's corpse, and they're just gonna clone it to make a bunch of Link Way soldiers.
Yeah. Back at the Special Forces base, Jackie comments how weird it is seeing her young dad, which, yeah, I mean...
It is.
I would be weirded out, too, if I saw my dad young.
And after that, we finally get to see what happens to President Jax.
Oh yeah, Jax is depressed. He's looking for stuff. His house is a mess.
Yeah, we find out that a big reason why he's kind of relapsed, I guess, is that his wife died a year ago.
I'm sick of these sad dads in video games.
I know, such a trope.
Enough with the dead wife already.
Jax even has the sad dad beard in this game.
Fuck, he does. You're right.
Yeah, Jax is just not in a good place. He's an alcoholic. We literally catch him just with the beer, falling asleep in front of a shitty old TV.
That's so he doesn't have an HD TV still. That's so funny.
He's understandably upset because he can't contact his daughter.
Yeah, apparently the time field is also an EMT. You can't make phone calls.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, not a good time for Jackson Briggs, fortunately. But
which is why the Kronik shows up, and the Kronik says, "I can make you feel better. I can fix all this stuff. I can make it so that your daughter becomes a trad wife and bears you many grandchildren, carries on the Jack's name." That's literally exactly what she plays to.
And Jax is sweet. Joins up with her.
Alright, cool. Thanks. You're the only one who actually reached out to me about my depression. Sonya won't return my calls. Something about I'm a mad pussy or something. I don't know.
After that, we return to Outworld.
For the next chapter. Josh, look! Haunted boobs up ahead! Tits! Big ones! It's chapter Jade!
Your wife gets a spotlight here.
Hell yes. So we see Raiden talk to the Outworld people about what's going on. So Kotal asks Katana to do some diplomacy with the Shokons, who are currently ruled by Shiva. Since there's no, I wonder what happened to all the other Shokons, Kotal. Would you know anything about that?
Cool.
I have written down he's too racist to do it.
Cole instead decides to have a nice horseback ride with his wife.
And they make kissy faces while riding their weird, disgusting, horrible horses. I don't like them.
God, they are kind of animated weirdly.
I don't like those horses. They'd upset me.
Shit.
They're ambushed by gigantic bugs. I wonder who this could be. And one takes Jade back to the hive.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Jade versus Revenant Jade. And I said Revenant Jade calls out Jade for being a servant, even though Revenant Jade herself is a servant.
Yeah.
I have noted down that Revenant Jade has this weird effect where she's faux deep. Like, she thinks that she's being, like, profound and, like, she's being profound and, like, has these deep thoughts when really they can be easily, like, debunked.
Yeah, Jade, like, present, or I guess, like, good Jade is literally just like, what the fuck are you talking about, and kicks her ass.
We see another scene of Kotal falling. Kotal does a lot of falling in these games. He just falls from high places.
He's a very clumsy boy.
My beefy chest is throwing me off balance. Ah!
D'Vorah kicks his ass and like is almost about to do to him what she did to Melina in the last game.
Yeah.
But then Jade saves her hubby.
Yes, queen. So Jade beats up D'Vorah, and then D'Vorah tells him that Shao Kahn is hiding at the Tarkatan village. So they're like, alright, Kotal, you're too racist to even think about going into fighting into the Tarkatan camp. So we're going to sneak in.
Yes.
With no disguises, no cover, wearing the same loud, bright colors that we have.
I laughed so fucking hard the first time I watched the scene because they're just so terrible at stuff. Like, literally, they don't even, like, sneak. They're just, like, running around together.
Yeah. It's like the village is red. They're all wearing green. So they sneak around, they bump into a lady Tarkatan, and I gotta say, that lady Tarkatan, quite the cutie.
She's understandably pretty terrified about this group of people that she doesn't understand cornering her.
I mean, you have to recognize that those are the Oztec people, and you know that you've been at a 1,000-year race war with them.
Yeah.
So it's like, imagine you find a group of people who literally want you dead.
And that, of course, sets off the camp, and we get a massive battle sequence.
I don't know what the lady bumps into to set off the alarm. She just like backs into something, and someone goes, "Oh!" It's like a shitty stealth game where like if you alert one guard. It's like the most recent Wolfenstein game, like where you set like one guard notices you, they all telepathically know where you are.
Oh, she also, I think this is the first game where we get some kind of indication about the Tarkatan language. I don't know if there's like any actual like words or if they're just like nonsense.
Oh, it's completely gibberish.
You're right.
Who do you think makes these games, Josh? You know who makes these games. That Boone is not gonna make a language.
Right. How foolish of me.
His whole thing is just putting gibberish into his games. He loves it. We have a really gross section where Jade is running through to like skin humans hanging on meat hooks. It's like, come on, man.
it's a little much. And like she's literally like decapitating dudes' heads with the chains and kicking them into like the fire. then afterwards we get our third fight.
Versus Collector. Boring. Move on.
Yeah, who cares?
Who fucking cares? So Kotal is too racist for Jade's liking. I don't know. She seemed pretty complicit. No, up until then.
Yeah. Yeah. They win. Kotal gets his dudes together, all to Tarkatans, and is about to execute him. And Jade's like, "Yeah, this seems kind of racist, Kotal. I don't like this."
Listen, Kotal, I liked it when he called the when he called the Tarkatans the hard R, but killing them—that's a little too far. I didn't think you were gonna act on your racism.
So Jade beats Kotal's ass, but unfortunately it turns out to be the worst possible timing, because then Shao Kahn literally just shows up, like, "Hey guys."
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, I fucked up really bad."
So, oh no. Yep, Jade, Kotal, and their guys are now all captured. Dun dun dun.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we cut back to Raiden going back to the Elder Gods to talk to them again, maybe to plead with them more. But he finds out that the Elder Gods have been destroyed, much like how in Bleach, when you find out the Council has been all killed by Aizen.
I haven't watched Bleach, so...
Oh, yeah, well. I read Bleach. I read all of Bleach in like 1 month, and I...
Wow, loser.
So Cetrion says, well, I gotta follow my mom's decisions rather than my own, even though, because, balance and shit like that.
Oh, yeah, Cetrion's like the last new character we encounter, and yeah, she's like an Elder God that's Kronika's daughter and Shinnok's sister, and she's like, she turns out, I guess, kind of to be like an Elder God's mole, because she's like, this whole time has just been flying against them.
Yeah, which makes it really interesting. I wonder if that's why they've been so useless the entire time.
It actually would be a pretty decent retcon.
Yeah, they don't say that out loud though, so I wonder if you're supposed to make that you're supposed to make that deduction yourself, or I mean that's a good way of getting out of this problem.
Yeah. They kind of imply that like Kronika set up her kids to kind of be like the arbiters of good and evil, so they're always in endless war with each other.
Awesome setup. Mm-hmm. Just have two immortal beings. This isn't Dota 2, guys. You don't have to have a constant fight between the good guy and the bad guy through all history.
Meanwhile, we cut back for we got our next chapter. War on the home front with Johnny Cage.
Yep. Jax finds out that his hands can shoot projectiles, and Jackie tells him the hard truth of, well, your wife dies. So it's like, oh. Great. Thanks for telling me that, kid. Could you imagine the moment the words leave her mouth, Jackie just fades out of existence? Because then Jax is discouraged from marrying that lady.
I actually wonder how that works in this game where if saying the wrong thing would potentially just make you blink out of existence, Back to the Future style.
God, yeah. I mean, Back to the Future is the only makes me think that's the only major media that ever played with that. But it's if you watch Doctor Who or in this game, it's you can just interact with the past all you want and not fuck up the timeline.
Yeah, just don't kill him and you're golden.
Yeah. You can say whatever you want to Vincent Van Gogh. He's still going to do the thing. I guess because of that will cause way too much problems.
Yeah. So on that note, Johnny Cage is still being a huge asshole. We kind of get the nice demonstration of Johnny's development over the trilogy, because older Johnny is just way more chill and just mature at this point.
Yeah, and young Johnny is a major asshole, and he even says, "Yeah, I'd fuck Sonya in the ass. I would totally want to do that."
We also get a little bit of drama between Sonya and Cassie, where Sonya learns exactly how she died, and it seemed I don't know why, but it seemed weird to be she was that upset under the circumstances, because she makes it think Cassie left her to die.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's literally dispelled immediately when Cassie says, "Because you ordered me to," and she goes, "Oh, okay." So it's like, it's conflict that is brought up, then immediately brought down.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there is a weird exchange between the two where Sonya says, "Yeah, my dad, the general, used to call me Private Pumpkin," and for some reason, Cassie makes this horrifying face.
I know.
I've messaged it to you. And I
Thank you. I know what you're talking about, though.
I messaged it to you like a few days ago while I was while I was taking notes. You just scroll up a little bit. It was on the 5th, but I sent you this picture, and it's like, I don't know
I see it.
if she's mad, if she is happy. It is the weirdest fucking face I've ever seen.
It's total ambiguity.
It's like, it's a mysterious face. It's like that bot that's like made to detect what emotion someone's feeling, and like it was done on Todd Howard, and it's like zero fear or something like that. It's like, I can't read it.
It's a facial equivalent of. Have you ever seen that one pic on Twitter where like the thing is kind of no one knows what the fuck is in it, even though there's like several objects?
What?
It's like this one pic on Twitter, and it's like no one knows what's in it exactly, even though there's like several objects shown, but like there's shot in such a weird way that no one knows what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I don't. I'm gonna edit in the video, but hey, I don't like this. This fucking face vexes me, and it will haunt me to the day I die.
My best guess is maybe mild embarrassment, or maybe kind of like the same way like a kid would if they remembered like their lame QT nickname their parents said so. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
That's my best guess, but it's not. Considering how well done the faces in this game are, it kind of sticks out as a really awful looking expression.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only bad face is Sonya's face, because they tried to make her look like Ronda Rousey, but not pay for her likeness. Because she sort of looks like Ronda Rousey. Like, if you look down, I also sent you where she kind of looks like Ben Shapiro.
Yes, I saw that.
She has severe elf face.
Exactly. So after, while that's going on, older Johnny drags his past self to kind of give him a talking to about how he needs to just chill out. And that leads to a fight scene.
We also get a little bit of insight as to why he's an asshole. He's like, "Yo, my dad told me I'm the coolest guy ever." It's like, "Oh, that's why."
Yep. Johnny's like, our dad was an asshole, and then Hollywood made us bigger assholes.
Oh, Johnny Cage and Past Cage fight, and to beat some sense into him, and Johnny Cage is like, "Fine, I guess I will stop being an asshole."
Yep.
But oh no, it's Aaron Black and the Black Dragon. Weird that Aaron Black is not in the Black Dragon. I mean, come on, his name.
Yeah. maybe like realize, oh shit, I should have been with you guys the whole time. So yeah, they invade.
We get another juxtaposition between the two Johnnies, where current Johnny is way more cautious and safe, while past Johnny is way more impulsive and dangerous. He picks up a riot shield and uses the riot shield like a pussy. I'll learn how to play the game, man.
Past Johnny gets shot in the face and leaves a scar on present Johnny too. So that's kind of the indication that like any harm. It actually leaves kind of a weird plot hole though, because like Johnny just beat the shit out of his past self and he was completely fine.
He didn't break any bones.
True. But you think he...
Or, I mean, he might have just caused internal damage. Maybe now he knows why he has a limp. But it does that thing that annoys me when, like, you have past versions of yourself where, like, you notice, like, you go, you suddenly go, the scar that my old self got, I'm now realizing it. Like, wouldn't you have noticed it for the past 30 years? Like, you technically lived with, so you would get new memories of having that scar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's fine.
But this game doesn't do that. This story mode doesn't do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We get Johnny versus Aaron Black. Poor Aaron. He jobs this desperado jobs once more.
We find out that Sonya's been abducted and Cassie got hurt.
Yeah, Another trope I don't like is like, say someone gets say like a massacre happens, but someone for some reason inexplicably survives it. Because we find her on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Like clearly within like, she wasn't hiding or anything. So like, why was she spared? But whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Sonya, she just loves to be kidnapped, doesn't she, folks?
I know it literally happens like once a game.
Yeah, just can't help but be abducted. Like, uh-oh, Sonya, why are you putting on those handcuffs? How did these get on me? Sonya, you're doing this yourself.
So after that, Johnny goes to save his wife. He also finds a tank and just goes to fucking town in the Linkway.
Hell yeah,
it's a cool sequence.
So yeah, Johnny uses a tank. He uses it to destroy the ship that they're almost going to try to get away on.
Okay.
And
then his tank gets destroyed by like a jet that Sector calls in, but Johnny doesn't like. There's a cool part where like Johnny throws like some kind of. Oh wait, no, I remember what happens. The jet flies over the tank and Johnny self-destructs it, so it takes both of them down.
Hell yeah, that's so cool. Mm-hmm. It's like what is it, Battlefield 2, Battlefield 3, where you somehow launch a tank into the air and it like to someone who's like flying a jet around the map. Sector says, I'm using facts and logic to determine how I'll beat you, and Johnny says, I don't care about facts and logic, that's for pussies, and he beats him. Then we have the shot from the trailer where Johnny does his like splits punch in the nuts to Kano. Yep. I remember seeing that every single time because like on YouTube I would always get ads for MK11, so I just have that shot of him punching Kano in the nuts like seared into my brain.
It's like that. It's like in like a trailer for a comedy where like they show the best joke in every single ad for it to the point that when you actually see it in the film proper, it just loses impact.
Oh, yeah. So President Kano apprehends past Kano to kidnap the past versions of the heroes, but why don't they take Jax?
I guess they just, I don't know, they didn't see him.
No, he's right there.
Oh yeah, he and Jackie are like hanging out, but I guess they scare about Sonya because Kano has a boner for Sonya.
I could maybe.
They kidnapped her and past Johnny Cage, I guess, just as leverage, because like they're. So I guess hoping that since Cassie now is by default the leader of the special forces, it's just like
Interesting. Okay. It could be that Kano, is probably not fully following Kronika's orders to round up all the past versions.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that makes sense actually, because he just really cares about Sonya, and that's it.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then
all right.
They leave Sector behind too to just use him as a suicide bomb.
Uh-huh. Nice callback to like how in MK3 the cyborgs just love blowing up and causing mass like predator size like atomic bomb of explosion. Doesn't Smoke blow up the entire planet?
Oh my god.
In one of his fatalities?
Yes, he does. I think that's literally like I think it might have been 9.
Yeah, or like he just literally like drops all these bombs from his chest, and then the whole planet explodes. These cyborgs love blowing themselves up.
Raiden.
Luckily, Raiden.
He's literally like the what happened? Did I come at a bad time?
Hey, what happened? Oh, beep, 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 beep. Oh fuck! And he they TP everyone out of trouble.
Mm.
And I have written down because like I believe like the Kronik is saying stuff. I have written down like I wonder if Kronika would have stepped in to undo Shao Kahn's invasion had it fully succeed because it would have caused an imbalance. It's just one of those things to think about.
Yeah, that's That's true.
Because Shao Kahn was straight up willing to just disobey the rules of the Elder Gods in MK9.
So Raiden takes all the heroes to pretty much Scorpion's lair. Which is like the Fire Gardens. Looks cool.
And Raiden also says, fuck the Elder Gods, which, great character growth.
I know, it's like, about fucking time, dude.
Establish your own agency. He keeps going back to them like how Ned Flanders goes back to Reverend Lovejoy about anything.
Oh my god! Exactly.
It's like, oh, Elder Gods, I stepped in a worm, what do I do? So now we're at Chapter Katana.
Yep.
Oh boy, this is the chapter.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into it.
Yep.
So she's talking with the Shao Kahns, and she talks to Fiona Shrek about the Shao Kahns joining their forces, and Fiona says, "No, Kotal is a fucking racist," and Katana's like, "Come on."
Oh, you did a little racism. It's can we move on?
Racism here, racism there. I mean, come on.
People change.
People change.
Don't be a part of cancel culture, Shiva.
So Shiva's like, fine, I'll help you. So they go to the Tarkhan camp to free their friends, with the help of Liu Kang and Kung Lao.
Yep.
Scarlet says, like, oh, I love that Adenian blood. It's so tasty. Mm-hmm. I love eating it. Have I told you about The Witcher? Don't you know about The Witcher, Shao Kahn? The Witcher is a Polish novel series written by...
So
just like thinking about it, like she can't shut up about The Witcher because she's Polish.
So after that, turns out that Scarlet wants Jade's blood because it's rich people blood.
Super tasty. Super tasty.
Yep.
Jade says that maybe they should get Baraka on their side, and they do a Star War and disguise as guards to deliver a captive to them.
Mm-hmm.
I like that Scarlet is just trolling Jade just by just grabs her head and she's going, ah, fuck my blood, ow. You're making my blood hurt. And immediately they're found out because, the lady who can smell blood and can probably identify you by your blood notices you. Oh, it's like, oh, that thing that Kenshi should have did last game. She's doing it.
That, of course, leads to our first fight, which is Katana versus Scarlet.
Poor Scarlet, she loses.
Oh, yeah.
This is Polish discrimination. I will not stand for this Polish discrimination. They've gone through enough.
That's why Geralt's never been a guest character in the MK games.
He should be, but he was in Soul Calibur, so that counts.
Yeah.
There was that weird stretch of time where Geralt was just showing up in everything.
Was he a Monster Hunter?
Yeah, that's thematically perfect for him since he hunts monsters for a living.
Mm-hmm.
But he should be an MK. He does you brutally murder people in those games.
Yeah, and Warner Brothers publishes both franchises. You think it'd be?
Yeah, what the fuck? How are they not getting this?
Mm.
What? They don't want 2 Polish people? The more the merrier. So, Katana talks to Baraka about, come on, man. Don't you want to help your people? And Baraka's like, my people have been genocided by Kotal.
Yeah.
I don't want to join you guys. And Katana again goes, come on. That's literally the extent of all her...
her negotiation.
Is come on, do me a favor, just this once. And it works. It works every time. So if you want to convince someone, just say, come on. What do you got to lose?
I used to be fun.
You're not doing anything later today. Come on.
Aren't you tired of being beaten up all the time, Baraka?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even said that Baraka and Katana agree to speak about the racism that's deeply within Outworld's institutions. So very woke messaging here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the people who rule the government; it's the institutions.
Mm-hmm.
Back at the Coliseum, where Kotal's going to be executed by Shao Kahn. But wait, it's all of Outworld.
I know.
The Shokans, the Tarkatans, the Adinians. That's it.
And we get another like big ass war sequence in the Coliseum with everyone just killing the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, it's great to see a united Outworld against that dang Cheeto of the Empire, Shao Kahn.
There's actually like, I'm not kidding. There's actually like a intro dialogue with Shao Kahn where he says he's gonna make Outworld great again.
Yeah, that's usually what I refer to with like whenever I say, yeah, you can have politics in your game, just don't do this.
Yeah,
just refrain from that. Don't have characters say Trump slogans, please. It's not funny.
It's never been.
Stop, knock it off. It makes him less cool. Like, why would he say that? It's.
I know.
Collector says to Katana, "Hey, you never grew up poor in your entire life. I grew up from dust streets," which that's actually similar to Scarlet's upbringing.
Yeah,
like both of them were like peasant people who like had powers who Shao Kahn recruited. So who's the real woke ruler? Katana, who is aligning with the elites, or Shao Kahn, who has a syndicate of people who were poor at one point,
or discriminated against in like Baraka's case. Yeah, that's a good point.
The only people he discriminated against was the bug people, but we've seen that those bug people are tricky folk who only worship power.
Shit.
We get another big thick Bara fight between. This one's the most horniest one because they both take turns bear hugging each other, so their titties are just pressing up against each other.
Oh, for real.
It's just like the person storyboarding this like whole sequence was probably sweating. Couldn't stop sweating.
And it climaxes with like Shao Kahn literally blowing Goodle's back out
with a torture rack.
Oh,
Lex Luger, the total package.
Just imagine now Shao Kahn just struggling to put a t-shirt over his head.
Your bar titty bra is too tight, Billy. What's it called? I don't know.
After Cole's disposed of, Kitana confronts Shao Kahn, and Kitana finally gets some closure.
I know, and he also slices Shao Kahn's titties. They really want you to be aware of his humongous titty.
I know. It's like...
Yeah, we do actually do get some... we do get some like closure, because she's like, I didn't want to be your daughter. You took me as a prize, and like... Now, I kept you around because I wanted to fuck your mom that badly. That was to appease your mother, and like, I have written down, like, poor King Jared Fogle. Shao wanted to cuck him that bad. Because he said, like, oh, I didn't kill him for his land, I killed him for his wife. Shut the fuck up, Jared, I'm gonna fuck your wife now.
After that, but, I think we get like our only shot of Shao Kahn unmasked in like the entire series.
It's weird. It feels wrong.
It does. He's just some. He looks vaguely monstrous, but still just kind of just some dude.
Yeah, we don't need to see his face.
Yeah, I agree.
But damn, she fucking slashed his fucking face hard, pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think. Because how he dies reminds me of how Immortan Joe dies in Mad Max. I wonder if that was like
a shout out,
an inspiration.
A
shout out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised actually.
They're both Warner Brother properties too.
That's true.
And they're both like horrible totalitarian tyrants.
I think you're onto something. So yeah, like a. Katana kills her dad, her adopted dad, and yep, Outworld is finally free.
Overpowering your stepdad.
Powerful. And of course, since Koval's like crippled now, he's like, Katana, you be con.
That's so fucking lame. What? Yeah, I said, this is the worst part. Kodo was supposed to be this cool death god guy who got usurped by fucking Katana, who becomes the ruler by her legacy alone. What makes her a better ruler? How about establish a democracy, you assholes? Instead of a... Because, you know, they literally set up the European Union. All the leaders of each country, or each, like, faction in Outworld are, like, deciding how shit goes down in Outworld. There's no democracy. Goddamn. And all at the expense of Kodo. Kodo was supposed to be this cool guy, and he got turned into a loser.
I guess to be fair, he probably just doesn't want to care about ruling anymore. He just wants to have sex with his wife every day.
You know what? Actually, this fixes everything. I understand completely, 100%. Kodo, you do you, king.
Mm-hmm.
Wives rock.
After that, we go back to Fire Garden.
Yeah, back at the ranch, Raiden asks Fire and Ice to check out Charon, the guy who ferries the boat on the Sea of Blood.
Yeah.
The Shaolin to go help the Shaolin. And Cassie goes to save her mom and dad. And finally, Jax and Jackie go to Shang Tsung's Sex Island.
Excuse me.
Everyone got that?
Yep. That's all our subplots.
Yeah, it's like literally bullet point of like what's gonna happen next.
Meanwhile, back at the Black Dragon Lair, we go. Sonya and Johnny are now like literally forced into like a death match scenario.
Yeah, this setting reminds me of Kano's ending, where he at first has Sonya and Cassie oil wrestle until he gets bored.
Oh my god, yeah.
To run high risk missions against special forces for like eternity. So it's like he literally gets so bored of watching like his sexual fantasy play out that he's like, you know, I'm just gonna do simulations for the rest of my life.
We also get our intro. Well, actually, it was already an early scene, but we get to see a basketball. And like, Kano's like lied to him that like Sonya was the reason he got horribly disfigured.
Yeah, at first I thought this was a retcon, but then he immediately says, "I'm just telling him that shit so that he gets motivated." Doesn't know.
Also, for some reason, Basketball has his Sonic the Hedgehog speed powers, even though he only got that after he got burned alive.
Don't think about me. No, God, just don't think about it.
You're right, Kano.
So Sonya beats up Cabal, and fuck, her voice is so awful. She's like, "Let me go, Kano. Let me out."
She always she can never sound genuinely angry. She just always at best sounds like mildly annoyed.
Because her fucking turf brain has been too concussed from being punched in the head to actually deliver like compelling lines.
Also, after she beats Cabal, she says, "Don't believe every rumor you hear," and it's like, you should have thought about that.
Take your own advice, dumbass.
After that, past Johnny gets thrown into a cage, and I was actually surprised because they don't have like an in-game fight.
Yeah, it's just because I believe he's like too beaten up. They've been beating him up for like the past hour or so.
Oh yeah.
So he's like too fucked up to fight.
They decided just like to work a match though because they like.
They get into a lockup and like Sonya whispers to the next spot. I throw you into the corner. You put your knees up. All right.
But then their work match gets interrupted by a returning Cassie who comes with the special forces and just kills the fuck out of everyone.
Yeah, since you mentioned stylish, I do have that word written down because she's doing like guns akimbo like.
Oh yeah, she was like, if this was like an actual Devil May Cry game, she would have that like S meter up all times.
Yeah, this made me miss old Tomb Raider, like a cool lady like with twin guns shooting and blasting.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping around and shit.
Always a good time.
I haven't. This is at this point. I noticed that there are long shots of characters staring and not really doing anything. just like standing there reacting to what's going on, and I think that's to hide loading.
That actually makes a lot of sense. That explains it, because it does seem a little awkward, but yeah, that would explain it, because it always happens when they're transitioning into a fight scene.
They're just like, some of them, they just stand there awkwardly, and I notice like how long it is, and I'm like, cut, or I'm thinking this would be a good time to cut, or do we really need to be seeing this? But that was just to hide the fact that there's probably a big loading going on in the background. Again, Aaron Black drops out.
Yep.
He is the new Reptile or Baraka.
Baraka's moved up. Reptile's dead, so just someone has to take their place. After that, we get like another big cutscene gun battle with like Kano bringing in like a chain gun.
Yeah. So he starts lighting them up, and then Sonya like thinks, what would Obi-Wan Kenobi do? And gets the high ground and wins! Oh, the dumbest fucking moment in this whole entire thing. So Sonya's fighting off past and present Kano, and then she stomps on Kano's chest, and present Kano goes, "Ow, me chest!" And it's like, what is this? He's like, they literally, for some reason, turn the make it voodoo rules.
Because we were talking about that earlier, then like by that logic, anytime like two characters fight each other, they should just both be horribly fucked up afterwards.
Yeah, this is literally like Johnny just fought himself not too long ago. Revenant versions of people fought each other. It's like, this makes no fucking sense.
It literally just feels like a rule they just decide when it happens and when it doesn't.
Yeah, it just blows my mind. It's so short-sighted. I don't know why they put this in here. They probably realized, oh wait, we need to get Sonya out of this jam, so let's just suddenly break the rules.
Yep. Speaking of which, Present Kano has passed Johnny hostage, and he decides to loudly announce that while Sonya literally has her foot on his past self's neck, if you kill the past self, then the present version disappears. Just should let you know that.
Yeah. Don't you know the rules, Sonya? Because I'll don't.
And of course, Sonya immediately takes Anfo and just shoots past Kano in the head.
Just caps him. Absolutely just blows his fucking head off. Big old hole in his head, and then Kano's like, "Ah, fuck."
So that...
Shit, mate, you fucked me. Ah.
So that means...
Bollocks.
Sonya is another character that gets closure, as she finally kills Kano for good.
I know, this fucking thorn in her side because Kano never died at any point. He's always been around, so it's literally this, who knows, 30, maybe even longer year feud between these two.
Finally get their blow-off match.
It's finally this fucking Gargano Ciampa feud finally fucking ends. Luckily, this was way shorter.
Sorry. Go on.
Before Sonya and Johnny Cage can make kissy faces at each other, it's Garrus, and he wipes out everyone. He wipes out all the troops. He starts brutally murdering all of them.
Gotta put him over as the big threat.
Yeah, but nothing stronger than the troops. Come on, Josh, you know this.
That's true. But unfortunately, John Cena isn't around to help them. So then that gives us our final fight for Sonya's chapter, which is against Garrus, and Garrus gets his ass kicked.
Yeah, and then Cassie drives a forklift into Garrus and blows him up. It's these are two mortals. These are the two most normal fucking people on the planet, and you lost to them?
Embarrassing, dude.
Embarrassing. Yeah. Go back.
He does they show all his blood, and they show he's starting to reform, so they get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah.
And
then Kronika says, or I forget who mentions it, but Kronika's I'm not losing, actually. This has all been...
It's Reverend Liu Kang.
Longest... Oh yeah, this has all just been distractions. I don't care about those people. You're all mortals to me. Oh, I shouldn't have said that out loud. Ignore that.
Oh yeah, seriously, like, because so far Team Kronik hasn't been doing great. They lost to Black Dragon. They've lost Outworld. They keep getting their asses kicked. But Kronik has an ace up her sleeve. Yeah.
Yeah, Kronik's like, this has just been busy work.
I'm bored. Just, Yeah.
It's just so, like, no one interrupts me, like, rubbing this hourglass.
So Kronika reveals that she has, like, the Island of Lost Souls, which is, like, Shang Tsung's old hideout where he kept all the souls he absorbed. And this is another case where they retcon something that, like, a lot of people criticize, which is that Shang Tsung's story is that, like, the Elder Gods cursed him, where, like, he will immediately get old and die unless he's always absorbing souls, and people thought that was dumb, because then Shang Tsung, who's already evil, is just like, okay, guess I'll just absorb more souls then. But then revealed that
your punishment is the thing you like doing, asshole. Enjoy doing the thing you love doing for the rest of your life.
But then Kronika reveals that wasn't a glitch; it was a feature, and that she always intended him to do that, so that way she always has a backup power source.
Yeah, because that's where the Briggs are going to get the MacGuffin.
Yep. And we got Chapter 9, All in the Family, with this is another co-op chapter with Jackie and Past Jax.
They named it after a sitcom?
Yes, I'm serious. I know.
This boat is also empty. It's just two of them on this autopilot boat.
I know. Like, you think they'd have some special forces dudes just so they could have, like, the bad guy kill them or something, but no.
Yeah, they're just like on an empty boat. It's creepy.
I guess it's just so Jax and Jackie can have some future daughter, past dad talk.
Yeah, I guess. I do like how creepy the island is. Like, it's all decaying. It's all dark. There's fart gas everywhere. Sunken ships. The wood is rotting. It looks cool.
Yeah, it is.
Revenant Cabal shows up to interrupt their bonding. And, this is where I noticed, like, where are the other Revenants? How come it's just, like, Revenant Cabal and Revenant Jade that show up?
I know. I think it's... I don't know how canon it is, but I know, like, one of the fight intro dialogues between Raiden and Nightwolf says that, like, Evil Raiden did something to Nightwolf, the Reverend version. So maybe Raiden, over the years, has been picking out the Reverends one by one.
Interesting. All right. I wish they would say that in the fucking game.
Well, I know. It's like that screed from like that old Mr. Plinkett review of the Star Wars prequels, where it's like, I don't care if it was explained in a spin-off thing.
Yeah. Watch the entirety of Clone Wars to understand what's going on. So, we noticed that the dead Shaolin come to life, so they do a big kung fu zombie fight.
Mm-hmm.
Which is actually pretty fun.
It is.
But anyway, Jax or Jackie fights Jade.
Yep.
So they do away with all the revenants, and they go into the mouth of the island.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how like Jax is like lighting a cigar just for fun.
Afterwards, Jackie and Jax finally find the crown, which is kind of like the real MacGuffin that Kronika's been after this whole time.
Yep. Yeah, this weird-looking, lame crown.
But, oh no, new Cybot is going to stop him.
Oh no, the Edgelord is here.
I know, Noob. I kind of do love just how much they double down on just Noob just being like, I am death and darkness.
Yeah, and like I believe in his intros, he says some fucked up shit to all the characters. Like he says really, really mean things to everyone.
Yeah, I call Noob's like straight up savage. Like even Shao Kahn's like upset.
I think it's like a lot like how in Ninja.
Oh yeah, I remember the exchange is like Shao Kahn's like, how can you beat me? I'm a conqueror, and Noob's like, how many worlds have you conquered, dude? None.
Bitch, you suck. Fuck you. Yeah, it reminds me of in Injustice 2, Scarecrow would say like similarly fucked up shit to everyone. Like he even says like, "Oh, I'm coming after your little sister next."
Oh my god.
To like I think it was like Blue Beetle or something. So it's like he's threatening like children. But they beat Noob, and then President Jack shows up to show he's team the Kronik. He has like Kronika styled arms.
Like his arms are now like,
hey, wait a minute, I recognize those colors.
Yep, white and gold. It's kind of like that trope in like in a lot of like anime and stuff, where like white and gold are always like evil colors for like divine kind of characters.
I know, it's like yeah, all JRPGs are like kill God.
And yeah,
so past Jax knocks some sense into present Jax, and oh fuck, it's Cetrion.
Yep.
But it's like, why? Like, so how can any of them be this super powerful elder god? But they use the crown as an explanation as to how they can go toe to toe with her.
Before you move on, there's like you fight past present Jax first, and there's an interesting touch in this where like the game forces you to be Jax instead of make you choose. Almost like past Jax is just immediately preventing Jackie from having the like pain of having to fight her dad.
Yeah, I like
nice
that.
Touch. But yeah, Cetron's there.
Cetron shows up, and like I said, they use the crown to empower themselves because it would make no sense for a normal human to beat up an elder god.
Yeah, it's kind of nice that they at least address that. It kind of reminds me...
Once.
I know they did something similar in the first Injustice where like they give some reason that all the normal characters suddenly take like superpower pills or something that allows them to go like toe to toe with Superman.
That was so funny. Yeah, you have to explain. You always have to give an explanation of why you can hurt Superman. So that's the problem with Superman is like he's too strong. I have written down because like it's at this point I feel like Jax's like character arc is a bit mishandled.
How so?
Because it's like it just feels like so a guy who's suffering from PTSD who fears his only child dying in battle. He has all these super duper valid like hang-ups, but he's reviewing it as a major flaw. It's like he didn't choose to become a Revenant. He tried to keep his daughter from joining the military, but she still joined anyway.
Yeah,
so it's like
I get
why should he become a bad guy because of all these things that are haunting him?
Yeah, no, you're actually right, dude. It kind of just feels like the game's like views Jax as just present Jax is just like pathetic. You know, that
as a weak-minded fool, you know, like you can't handle it.
He does get some redemption later, but like yeah, like Jax in this game is just like everyone's just like, you know, how exactly. Kind of mishandled.
Yeah, and plus, like, Cetrion uses his daughter as leverage and almost like kills her, and Jack still goes with it. That should have been that should have been him realizing immediately. Oh,
yeah,
these people are fucking callous.
Exactly. Yeah, like he literally just stands next to Cetrion with just kind of like this like sad face, like, oh, I don't like this. Sorry.
It's bad. I don't think it's handled.
Yeah,
well.
It feels out of character. Even for this very traumatized version of Jax, it just doesn't feel like him. To his credit, though, immediately he demands Cetrion brings Jackie back once like she gets the crown.
All right, fine. So they take the crown to the Kronika. Thank God this crown matches her matches her clothes. Yeah,
that's exactly why she wanted it. She's all about aesthetics.
Could you imagine if it didn't match her and Kronik's like, I don't want it, but like it will help you achieve your goal. Like, yeah, but it's not white and gold.
So now Kronika is just like literally like she's now gone from a powerful elder god to a powerfuler elder god.
Yeah, I'm powerful.
and Raiden's just like, man, this is fucked up.
This is really fucked up. Scorpion, go get Chiron to help us, man. All right, I'm going.
Yeah, that leads to our next chapter, which is focused on Scorpion again.
Yeah, just Scorpion. No switching off.
Yep.
Between that beta male Sub-Zero. This is all about the alpha.
NetherRealms once again showing their bias.
Really? They're biased for Scorpion? Anyway, I can't wait to see that new movie, Legend of Scorpion. So I have written down like that. Oh yeah, actually both of them go, but Scorpion says like, oh, I guess Chiron must not be willing to help Cetrion because Cetrion is building a bridge. So you go tell Raiden that I'll go rescue Chiron. And then I have written down, look at that giant fish. There's a giant fish. We find Devora trolling Chiron, but Scorpion rescues him. But oh no, it's past Scorpion.
Yep.
I have written down. I'm glad that Scorpion retains his Hellfire powers after not being a Revenant anymore. I always thought that was just something like, I guess I have these powers now.
I guess maybe it's like just a secret ninja technique, kind of like how Sub-Zero can just. I mean, if Sub-Zero can make ice even as like a human, like in Scorpion make fire.
Maybe. The Shirayu's place is called the Fire Garden, so maybe it is. No. Yeah. I just always thought it was Hellfire because it's called Hellfire in the move menu.
Scorpion encounters Devora and they have a big fight.
Yeah. But first Devora, who's the canon character killer, kills Present Scorpion.
Oh, yes. I know, it's just like huge fuck. Also, this is literally the last time we see Devora in the game.
Yeah, she skitters away. Yeah. And actually, yeah, that's a good point. I wonder where she goes.
Yeah, she hasn't.
But oh well.
Just doesn't get any comeuppance from like killing the most popular character in the franchise.
Yeah, but don't worry, past Scorpion is still alive,
and thankfully he's the way more marketable Reverend Scorpion.
Yeah, no one likes human people. We find on our data charts that the skull face resonates way better with our audience than the normal face. Oh, it's like the boardroom, like, oh yeah, all right, let's do that.
It's kind of neat though, because then like immediately we're still continuing as Scorpion, but just as the past version.
Yeah. And present Scorpion tells past Scorpion, man, you could change no matter. Everyone's gonna be happy. The Shirayu are all pimp cool guys now. It's gonna be great. You'll love it. Bye. And then he dies.
Yep. It's sad.
So past Scorpion goes to the Fire Gardens, but Scorpion says, no, I'm a good guy. He's like, okay, where's present Scorpion? Oh, he died. Oh, you killed him. And then he thinks, fuck. Yeah. I don't have any proof to prove that I'm not.
So that means we get like one more Scorpion versus Sub-Zero fight.
One more match.
One forever. I can't clap with a mic in my hand.
Fight forever.
And then after that, Raiden shows up, and it should be noted that Raiden's been wearing Shinnok's medallion. And
now I could quit any time, man. Maybe you're the real addict.
Yeah, like, so it's weird though, because for most part, Raiden's still been acting like, normal good guy Raiden, but suddenly here he's like, Scorpion, you're a stupid piece of shit. I'm gonna kill you. Yeah. And like Liu Kang's like, maybe we should hear Scorpion out here, but Raiden's like, shut the fuck up, Liu Kang. I know what I'm doing.
Shut up, Liu Kang. All right, I'm not the junkie. You're the real junkie. All right, I'm just the only problem I have is I'm too real.
So that gives us Scorpion versus Raiden. Yep.
Yeah, and then Raiden beats up Scorpion, and then Liu Kang's like, "Hey man, you're going too far," and then they fight. But then we cut to a montage of Liu Kang and Raiden fighting in different timelines and different locations.
Yeah, like it's kind of cool because we literally see like all these crazy outfits for like Raiden and Liu Kang and like different things. Like we see like a post-apocalyptic one. We see one where it looks like they're in like a more normal, Earth City or whatever. It's kind of like.
Yeah, like the subway. You have all these like different locations, probably from different like all the older games. All these different outfits from all the previous games, different color schemes that they didn't really have. It's like it's a really really cool sequence, and then it realizes that Raiden realizes, hey, wait a minute, we need to stop fighting. And I said that I have written down that Raiden blames his reliance on the amulet on Kronika, but then Kronika says, "No, actually, everyone else is the addict, and you're not the addict, Raiden."
Yeah, Raiden finally has like that moment of clarity where he's like, "We keep doing this, dude. We gotta stop the cycle." But then Kronika shows up and is like, Raiden, every single time you figure out that vicious cycle's happening, but you still keep it going.
Yeah.
It's kind of depressing.
And Kronika says, "You can't stop me now." Like Ozymandias, like there's no way you can stop this. So
yeah, that brings.
So that means all the groups gather their forces, and we see multiple boats, and it's time for the big battle.
Yeah, and that brings us into chapter 11, which is Raiden's chapter. Yep. We get all parties are united here. We got the Outworld forces, we got the Special Forces, we got the Lin Kuei, we got the Shiari Ryu, we got some, other miscellaneous allies. Everyone's ready for war.
Yeah, just some other Outworld weirdos.
Everyone's ready for war.
But oh no, a giant dumb boat comes out of nowhere, and they get on their boats. And I have written down there's like little fights going on in each boat. I noticed that Scorpion is using a cyborg's head and spine as a mace. It's just so like brutal. I can see like Doom Guy doing that with like a demon head.
We also see Geras, and he now has like a big dumb helmet.
Yeah. Before that, Jax shows up, and this like bit reminded me of a clip I saw on Twitter of like a guy playing MK11, and like he hasn't played it before, and he goes, "Damn, who's that? She's kind of thick." And it's like Jax, and it's because like the weird camera angle made it seem like Jax had a fat ass. So Raiden fights Jax, and then we get some closure to Jax like whole thing, and we even have like Raiden explains to Jax about like what Kronika and Cetrion and Shinnok's deal is. It's like, oh yeah, they use people as pawns to fight their stupid battle. You've been tricked, man.
Mm-hmm.
And Jax goes, "Bah, all right."
After that, I think this is when Raiden fights Geras again.
Yep.
They have a big battle sequence. Raiden wins, and then he takes care of Geras once and for all by like literally like tying him to an anchor and throwing him into like the River of Souls.
Yeah, which is a bottomless pit.
Yes.
Oh my god, that sucks.
I know.
This is what I was saying earlier. Like, yeah, you're immortal, but holy shit, hope you don't get like thrown down a bottomless pit where you spend all of eternity falling for the rest of your life.
I know. It's like Raiden's really good at coming up with these like sadistic punishments for immortal people.
Gotta get creative, you know.
After that, we encounter Frost one more time.
I've written down, oh yeah, she's in the story, lol.
I think this is like literally the only other time you fight her.
Yeah.
It's also, we were talking earlier about how dumb it was for Sonya to go in like the front lines as a general. It's extra stupid for Frost to do that because she's like the main like I guess computer for like the Lin Kuei cyborgs. Like literally, like she's the reason they're all activated. And if she gets disabled, they get disabled.
Fucking idiot. So yeah, that solves the whole cyborg problem, but holy shit, they're so dumb. That's funny.
So yeah, Sprouse gets defeated, and that means the Lin Kuei Cyborgs all shut down. Yay! Thanks for looking up for Team Good Guys.
But wait, we forgot. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Liu Kang got kidnapped. And
shit,
Revenant.
That's kind of major. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it's all right. But old Revenant Liu Kang is like sucking past Liu Kang for his soul power. So he's like, it's like he's just like absorbing all the power from him. He's turning old. I believe he's even like turning old.
Yeah,
too,
he's got like the wrinkly skin shit. It's like.
But then Revenant Liu Kang's like, I hate Raiden so much, I must stop what I'm doing to go kick his ass.
And so that brings us to the last fight of the chapter, which is Raiden versus Reverend Liu Kang, which gives Raiden again some closure.
Yeah, finally, the fight we've all been waiting for. Literally like the ghost of my past versus the versus the guy who made it so that I'm where I am right now. So Raiden beats evil Liu Kang, and then Raiden tries to do magic to undo his biggest mistake, but oh no, they merge and they turn into Fire God Liu Kang.
It's actually super fucking hype.
Hell yeah, this is the coolest shit.
Yeah, they kind of do it in a way where like how they're formed is it kind of like pretty much like Reverend Liu Kang and regular good Liu Kang get fused, but with good Liu Kang being in control. Yep.
Yeah.
And now they have a literal. It's also extra hype because the caption for Liu Kang's chapter is called "End of an Era."
Oh yeah, that is cool.
So
our
they land on the
island beach and they do a Normandy style frontal assault. Again, a lot of frontal assaults, guys.
Yeah. Everyone gets kind of a cool moment to shine. Both Jaxes do some like sick co-op moves. All the special forces and ninjas and shit are just like fucking up the demons. It's all very nice to watch. But but then like when Liu Kang starts invading Kronika's like evil clock wherever, Kronika does the most devious thing possible, which is literally just undo all of it.
Yeah, she uses a low frame rate time rewind to undo the big battle, just to isolate Liu Kang and herself. So like he's alone in the chamber.
Yeah, she meant that Liu Kang's like a godliness now makes him immune to the time warp thing.
Yep.
And so Kronika's like, fuck it, Reverend dudes, take him on.
Yeah, finish him. She says finish him, and I said, I understand that reference.
Clapping.
So Liu Kang runs through the Revenant Bastards, and so like Kronika's like, oh, you beat my Revenant Bastards. How about you beat my daughter? And Cetrion's all evil now because she's like burnt. She looks like a Diablo character.
But doesn't matter because Liu Kang beats her anyway.
Yeah, and this is like how in Kill la Kill, what's her face? What's the name of the mom?
Ragyo.
Ragyo absorbs.
Nue?
What's the name of the?
I think Nue.
What's the, Nue?
Yeah, Nue.
Yeah, she absorbs Nue to give her powers.
Yeah.
So much like that, she absorbs Cetrion into her, and she is buffed once more.
And that brings us to the final boss fights, and I'll say Kronika, well, she's hard. She wasn't like as bullshitty as like Shao Kahn or Corrupted Shinnok.
That's probably because they realize that people don't like that.
Yeah, as boss fight, she's fun. Also,
she uses big giant dinosaurs to run into.
I know, it's awesome.
I thought that was pretty funny.
So like, it's also they do something interesting with this, where like how well you do in the fight with her changes the ending. So if you beat her both times, you get the golden ending. If you beat her once but lose in a second round, you get the normal ending. And if you lose, obviously, you get the worst ending.
Interesting. The one I was watching, the guy beat her twice, and she turned to crystal, and then he shattered it. So what's the good and bad? What's the normal and bad ending?
The different. I literally played through all three endings. The difference is the best ending had the best ending and the normal ending mostly play similarly, but except in the best ending, Liu Kang gets Katana to be kind of his god wife, because like Raiden's like, everything's erased now, so and he pretty much makes Liu Kang and Katana the Adam and Eve to like decide the course of what humanity will be like now. Normal ending is just Liu Kang by himself doing it. And the bad ending has Kronika kind of like dissing out some karma by cutting off Liu Kang's head in the same way that Raiden did to Shinnok.
Because that's what I saw, was the one where he gets his waifu to be his eternal waifu.
Yeah, that's the best ending. Also, after that, Raiden also becomes mortal again.
Yeah, so it is a weird moment where it's like Raiden appears as a human, and I read this scene the same way like when Superman talks to Paul Kent in Batman vs Superman, where it's like, is he talking to a ghost? What's he talking to? Mm-hmm. You know? Is it his imagination? But I never really got it. But then like Raiden disappears, then Liu Kang becomes the Keeper of Time, and him and Katana are gonna like rewrite history.
Yeah.
Which made me think, oh fuck, they're gonna do another fucking reboot.
But
as luck would have it, NetherRealm noticed that we were talking about this series, and they were like, oh fuck, they're gonna shit all over our ending. Release the update. And so, and the 26th of this month, they are going to have an epilogue, which who knows what that will end with, but who knows if that will even be the last of the story DLC. So I'm thinking that they're going to try to keep the
current timeline.
The current timeline, and just add on to it.
That'd be cool.
And maybe even make Mortal Kombat 11 their, Street Fighter 5, that thing that they just keep updating. That's what I'm hoping.
I'd be down for that. I read a summary of what the DLC, which is called Aftermath, is going to be like, and the summary is kind of like Shang Tsung comes back right as Liu Kang and Raiden are about to remake like history, and like Shang Tsung's like, you idiots, you don't have Kronika's crown. You kind of need that. And
you killed the one. Yeah, you killed the yeah. So that makes sense. And he's like, he came back with Fujin, who's making a return, and Nightwolf. Yeah. So I really am looking forward to that's going to happen. Even in the little 3-minute clip that they posted, like Aaron Black seems to have a way more like more than just being a random jobber. He has a way more involved involved role. And I'm kind of really excited about what's going to happen.
Oh, me too.
It quelled all my literally this news quelled all my problems with this game. Well, except for the crunch and all that, but that's just Western developers at this point.
Yep. So yeah.
But overall, what did you think of this game? What'd you think of this?
Way better than I remembered, to be honest. I actually really enjoyed playing through it this time.
Yeah, I liked how it flowed. I liked how well stylish and well animated the cutscenes were. There were times where I was annoyed by the plot inconsistencies, like the whole time how the whole interacting with the past self worked, or just I also sort of dread time travel plot lines. I always find that to be kind of you're either out of ideas or you're about to jack yourself off with your story's history and just talk about how great your thing's history is. But I felt like this isn't the worst of its kind. Yeah. But I thought it was fun. I thought it was actually pretty ambitious. If when it came to it, I would have liked more cameos from different characters that you can't play as nor fight against in the story mode. How in MKX, Mei Ling and what was the other one? You remember all the characters that you could play as, but were mentioned.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like the demon girl from I think mythologies, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that would be.
That would have.
Yeah, because
it makes your world feel better. Feel bigger.
Yes. Yeah, it does feel like they kind of like cut down on that, unfortunately. Which, considering this is kind of a grand finale for Mortal Kombat, felt like a shame to miss out on that. But yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't do another reboot, because I'm getting like Batman's parents being shot, or Uncle Ben being shot vibes, because they really like doing the tournament on Shang Tsung's island over and over and over again.
I agree with you there.
So we'll be reviewing that, but in the meantime, next week we'll be reviewing the reboot, the animated reboot of Mortal Kombat Scorpion.
Ooh, I'm excited.
I know that's not what it's called, but but yeah, I'm looking forward to that because I hear it's pretty fucking awesome.
Looks like it. Thank you for listening to us ramble about Mortal Kombat for like over 2 hours. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.
Yep, see you next time, folks. We're probably going to become a Mortal Kombat podcast for the time being. So, finish it!